Anyone who argues that all African kingdoms sat aloof to watch their lands taken away from them by Western imperialists should go back to school to relearn their history. Europe's success in Africa was less because African states were weak, but more because of Europe's industrial-scale military technology and global economic network that most African states couldn't match. This video is going to be longer than usual, but if you're able to stay till the end, you might pick one or two things. As a response to this comment, I'm going to share with you 5 key reasons why Europeans were successful in colonizing the African continent from a very open-minded perspective. Number 1 was military technology. The Industrial Revolution produced rapid-fire guns and advanced artillery, which gave the Europeans battlefield edge over African kingdoms and empires. Even though they were wealthy and well-organized, this is not to say that African kingdoms didn't resist. Most African kingdoms like Zulu, Asante, and Benin resisted the British vehemently. In the case of the Asante, it took the British over 70 years for them to completely annex the kingdom. That is from 1824 to 1900. Number 2 was economic power. Europeans had a global trade network, capital accumulation, and industrial production that sustained prolonged military campaigns abroad. Number 3 was political fragmentation. The kingdoms in Africa were strong, but the continent was not united. In most cases, some rival states went into alliances with Europeans for short-term advantage, which actually weakened collective resistance. A critical example was the Bond of 1844, which was signed between some coastal chiefs of Ghana and the British to, among other things, protect them from Asante incursions. In East Africa, Malindi consistently went into an alliance with the Portuguese against rival states like Mombasa. Number 4 was the shift in the disease environment. When the Europeans first arrived on the continent of Africa, they were confronted with malaria and yellow fever. But with the discovery of quinine, the European vulnerability to malaria reduced, giving them the opportunity to penetrate into the African interior for the first time. Finally, was the divide and rule tactics. The Europeans, especially the British, capitalized on the conflict situations among African states and also forced treaties under duress like the Bond of 1844 and the Lagos Treaty of 1861, and also used local intermediaries to expand their influence. So, while the internal conflict mattered, the critical imbalance was the industrial era science and technology coupled with Europe's imperial strategies. Kindly drop your questions and comments, and don't also forget to follow or subscribe, and I'll respond to them appropriately.